To honor the timeless excellence of the greatest work of art humanity has ever witnessed, Overflow, we present this video. Dear cultured audience, prepare yourselves, because today we aren't just looking at ecchi, we are looking at shows that require you to lock your door and wear headphones at full volume. These shows are so spicy and bold that even Google hesitates to autocomplete their names. And trust me, the anime at the #1 spot makes Overflow look like a Disney movie. With that said, welcome to the top 10 ecchi anime that are spicier than Overflow. To start off, we have Yoasobi Gurashi. Yoasobi writes emotional music about love, heartbreak, fiction, drama, and then someone went and said, let's make a comedy about girls living together and make it weird. This anime is what happens when you mix cute slice-of-life energy with chaotic rom-com nonsense. The anime pretends to be wholesome, roommates cooking, cleaning, doing daily life tasks, but every episode derails into absolute unhinged chaos. It's like the writer said, let's see how many misunderstandings we can cram before breakfast. This show is powered entirely by poor communication and maximum awkward energy. One character tries to be normal, another one misinterprets it dramatically, and suddenly the room becomes a battlefield of blushing, screaming, and accidental closeness. The insanity is subtle but constant. It's not explosive chaos like Harem Camp. It's the slow, oh no, why is this happening? Kind of chaos. Every scene walks the thin line between slice-of-life comfort and absolute disaster. The music references, the personalities, the small conflicts. Everything blends into a show that feels like a peaceful fever dream with a romantic twist. Then at number 9, we've got Aki Sora. Yep, you knew this one was gonna make the list and I had to make it weird. Aki Sora is the kind of anime that once you're done watching it, you just stare at the black screen and whisper to yourself, why does this exist? And why did I watch it? So to keep this review safe, we'll just say this anime is known for content that pushes boundaries in a way modern platforms would not be okay with. So instead, focus on the fact that the show is basically the anime equivalent of a forbidden drama series that escaped from an alternate universe. It's not insane in a funny way. It's insane in a bro, what dimension did I just fall into kind of way. The story revolves around relationships so messy and chaotic that even soap operas would tell it to chill. Every character is emotionally confused, overly dramatic, and constantly making choices that would get them instantly canceled in real life. But here's the twist. The anime presents all this madness with a completely straight face. No comedy, no parody, no wink at the camera, just pure dramatic chaos delivered like Shakespeare, if Shakespeare had lost every functioning brain cell. It's wild, messy, melodramatic, and absolutely unhinged. But many of you already know that, don't you? Next at number 8, we've got Peter Grill and the Philosopher's Time. If you ever wondered what would happen if a fantasy anime took the concept of strongest warrior and twisted it into the world's most chaotic, brain-melting misunderstanding simulator, well, you got this piece of trash MC. Well, he wins the tournament, becomes the strongest man alive, and instantly finds out that achieving greatness is the worst decision of his life, because suddenly the entire fantasy ecosystem, ogres, elves, orcs, beast girls, they all want one thing. His jeans. No, I'm not talking about the denims. I'm talking about what's under the denim. Now, this sounds dangerous, but the anime keeps everything exaggerated, over the top, and comedic. The insanity comes from how desperately Peter tries to stay loyal to his sweet, innocent girlfriend. Meanwhile, the universe throws every creature at him like it's a running fertility-themed Pokemon Go event. Every episode is Peter trying to avoid chaos, and chaos says, haha, how about no? The man's life becomes a stealth mission in which the enemies have 100% vision, wall hacks, and infinite stamina. Even the villains aren't even real villains, they're just extremely motivated by romantic enthusiasts. Yeah, that's what the script says. The humor is constant and the exaggeration is insane, and poor Peter's descent into stress-induced suffering, it's pretty funny. While I feel for him, it's pretty hilarious. After that, at number 7, we have Harem Camp. If this is camping, then I am Kazu Trash from Wait, why the hell am I comparing myself to that garbage? Quit invading my brain space. Anyways, imagine going camping to enjoy fresh air, nature, and peace. This show is the exact opposite of that. This anime throws logic into the forest and replaces it with maximum chaos. The plot is, well, it's pretty simple. A guy ends up at a training camp where he's surrounded by girls. And instead of survival skills like setting up tents or making fire, they practice the art of romantic chaos, and the insanity hits instantly. There are no slow build-ups, no gentle character development. It starts very loud, and it stays very loud. Every day of camp feels like a side quest into madness where the main character is just trying to exist while the universe keeps rolling harem events as gacha pulls. And I swear these girls literally have one brain cell shared between them all. Overall, Harem Camp is peak head-empty entertainment. You don't learn survival skills, but you do learn that nature isn't the biggest threat. Anime plotting is. Next at number 6, we have Nana to Kaoru. Now, I literally don't know if this is any safer for YouTube, but we'll go with it anyways! So if romantic tension was turned into a full anime, then tied up, then wrapped neatly and handed to you with a bow, you'd get Nana to Kaoru. But unlike the other shows, this one handles its insanity in a surprisingly wholesome but chaotic way. The show focuses on Nana and Kaoru, two high school students who accidentally stumble into a relationship dynamic that is, let's call it extremely specialized. And the anime treats this hyper-specific dynamic like a self-care lifestyle. Every session is less about anything spicy and more about stress relief, emotional growth, communication, and trust. In other words, it's insane, but wholesomely insane. But it's still insane. Next up at number 5, we've got Nobunaga Teacher's Young Bride. This anime is actually hazardous. If I tried to fully explain what it hints at, the next video on this channel might have to be filmed from prison. If there was an anime tournament for most unhinged concept, Nobunaga Teacher's Young Bride would make it to the finals without even breaking a sweat. The show starts at pure intensity and somehow keeps leveling up like it has infinite stat points. We follow a modern-day teacher who just wants a girlfriend. Aww, wholesome, right? Instead, Truck-kun comes out of left field and suddenly isekai to— oh, wait, my bad. A girl from the Sengoku era time travels to him, claiming she must marry him because he looks like Oda Nobunaga. Imagine mixing a history book with a fever dream and adding caffeine. Yeah, that's what this is. The insanity escalates instantly. The girl acts like they're soulmates, the teacher panics like a goldfish thrown onto land, and more time travel brides start appearing like Pokemon spawns. Congratulations, sir, your life is now an arranged marriage multiverse simulator. But the comedy hits because everything is just exaggerated to parody. Logic doesn't exist here, characters run on pure chaos, and the teacher is just trying to survive the cultural confusion, historical disasters, and romantic ambushes hurled at him every episode. And if you're gonna watch it, do it alone. That's not advice, that's a survival guide. The Animan Survival Guide. Order today. After that, at number 4, we have Makina-san's Love Bot? After watching this show, every round object in existence now feels like a one-way ticket to hell itself. This anime is what you'd get if someone blended a rom-com with a broken washing machine on spin cycle. Makina-san's love robot revolves around one golden question. What if a cute romance robot exists, but her programming is about as stable as Windows XP running 47 Chrome tabs? And it's actually quite accurate. She tries to be affectionate, but her logic glitches so violently that you start to wonder if turning her off and on again is the only way the main character survives. The madness lies in her attempts to express love. Every episode is basically Makina saying, "I studied romance," followed by her proving she learned absolutely nothing useful. What follows is absurd misunderstandings, questionable methods, and a robot girl who genuinely thinks she's doing everything right, when it's like the exact opposite. Meanwhile, the protagonist is suffering through the most stressful rom-com ever animated, and you can practically watch his soul escape frame by frame. If you understand even basic physics, please turn back now. Your brain will melt, drip through your ears, and you'll thank me later. Otherwise, if you want mind-melting madness and brain rot, here you go. Served on a golden platter. And at the third spot, we've got Backwasher. Her and I in the woman's bath? This anime is proof that Japan can turn any everyday job into something extreme. And frankly, honestly, yes, this show is pretty much an H anime. The story is trash, almost non-existent, but I don't care because the plot makes up for it. Which doesn't make any sense because, story and plot, they kind of coincide. But you know what? Right up my alley. Like I said, should be right up yours as well. So the main character works at a public bathhouse, which sounds wholesome until he runs into customers and childhood friends. Suddenly, every towel exchange turns into emotional warfare. Every shift is a battlefield of misunderstandings, and depending on how you see it, the protagonist might be the unluckiest or the luckiest bathhouse worker in anime history. Every time he tries to keep things professional, the universe says, haha, nope. So overall, this anime exists solely to make viewers laugh and facepalm, but it's pretty stupid, it's pretty chaotic, and overall it's fun, but in the bro, what am I watching kind of way. And at the runners-up spot of this cursed list, we have Nukitashi. Yep, that's right, we've got the Epstein show. Are we allowed to say that? Oh, we are? Okay, great. Yep, this show is not just insane, it is peak insanity. This anime acts like it snorted 5 different genres, shook them in a jar, and dumped the mixture into your lap. It's technically a parody, but it parodies everything at once. Dystopias, romance, action scenes, censorship laws, morality police. Where are you? Morality police. All while screaming at maximum volume. The story takes place in a world where a group of moral enforcers called the Chastity Defense Force basically run around trying to control everyone's romantic freedom. That alone is already crazy, but the way the show executes it makes it feel like Attack on Titan. If Titans were replaced with aggressive hall monitors, our protagonist, a guy who rebels against the man with the intensity of an anti-hero. The characters act like they're in a life or death battle anime all the time, but the stakes are they're ridiculously stupid. And that's where the insanity mainly comes from. It's ridiculous how seriously the show treats its own stupidity. But yet, you can't help but love it and cheer 'em on. Epic music? Yes. Dramatic speeches? Absolutely. Slow motion hero moments for the dumbest reasons imaginable? Constant. It's like the writer said, let's make the most cracked over-the-top comedy parody ever, but animated like a shonen masterpiece. And I gotta say, it is perfect. And here at the top spot of today's list, we have Chuhai Lips, canned flavor of married women. I swear I don't even know what the hell the name of that title is, but I swear this is basically Overflow Season 1.5. I binged the entire show. Binged it. Binged it, I say. And honestly, I still can't wrap my head around how it even made it onto television. Sure, it's slightly toned down compared to Overflow, but saying it's not H material is like saying Violet Evergarden isn't slice of life just because it threw in one action scene for fun. But the real insanity here is the tone. The show pretends to be about beverages, marketing, and quirky product ideas. But then suddenly it sprints towards an area where you just suddenly have to ask yourself, how is this legal? Every episode feels like the writers came together and said, let's make the weirdest thing possible, but keep a straight face so that the audience questions their insanity. The protagonist himself acts like he's trapped in a fever dream, but just rolls with it. And as for all the women involved in this scenario, well, they just act like it's a normal Tuesday. And that makes it just crazy. The absurdity is just so high it becomes comedy gold, not because of jokes, but because your brain refuses to process what is actually happening. Overall, Chuhai Lips is absolutely insane, bewildering, and bizarrely entertaining. You're not watching it for plot, character arcs, or emotional depth, you're watching it to remind yourself that anime has no limits, and in this case, no breaks. Well, that's the list for today, guys. If you were able to make it this far, please be sure to comment down below on which anime you think should have been on this list. Also, if you liked the video, don't forget to like the video. And if you're not part of the fam, hit that subscribe button and press that bell icon and set us all to be notified about all our latest new videos. And as for now, I'll catch you later. See you in the next one.